Hi everyone. This video is to explain your project number 2 because the next 2 projects you're going to have options, and I didn't have the class time to do it. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to go ahead and walk us through the project on web courses. So let's see. I think this is, yeah, okay. So you can see here the assignment is titled Job Project or Writing Revision. It's your major project number 2. So for this project, you have 2 options, and as it's explained here, the job profile, if you choose that for your second project, your third project then will lead to a professional development plan. However, if you choose the writing revision, that will lead to an interview of a writer for project 3. So as I state here, you'll want to take some time to consider which assignment you want to do, which option you want to do for assignment number 2, because that will just determine the assignment you choose for project 3. So you can see the details here for the job profile. Basically what this assignment is doing is asking you to do some research about a job that interests you. So I want you to think about, well, kind of to go back to choosing between the 2 of these. I stated in class that I wanted to give you options of kind of thinking about your personal goals for this course. So I know some of you have jobs lined up when you're done, or some of you have no idea what kind of job you want to do. And so for me, this option allows you some leeway to kind of figure, okay, do I want to do some research about some potential jobs after graduation, or thinking about what skills I need to develop before graduation? Or do you want to focus on just improving your writing, working through and thinking about yourself as a writer more generally? That way, you can still leave yourself open, or maybe, again, like I said, maybe you already know what you're doing afterwards. So these 2 options kind of give you that room to think about, again, the goals of this course for you, because I don't want to make assumptions about what you want to get out of this course and what you've done before this course. So again, back to the job profile. You can see here what you're basically doing is some research about a potential, job that you're interested in. And then you can see here what this will manifest as is a website and a handout. So let me see. So you can see here also really the main point of this is, or what you're being asked to do, is to present an informative overview of the job type. Okay, so you can see here I've linked to some examples of resources that do something similar. Of course, these are much more, what's the word, kind of basic reports as opposed to what I'm asking of you, but they give you an idea of kind of what exists out there that kind of helps people understand jobs and what jobs entail. So you can see here, your job profile will focus on descriptions of what professionals in that job do and what they use to do it. And of course, in relation to, rhetoric and writing. So thinking again about how those skills play into or translate into a job. So you can see here some specifications. I kind of have this listed in steps. First, you're going to figure out what job type you want to focus on. You can kind of read through this, and I have a list of some, potential options, but this is by no means, all-encompassing. Next, you're going to do some research to make sure you cover what's in the requirements. And then lastly, you're going to synthesize this research and design these 2, a word that we're using for this project is deliverables. These are basically the things that you're submitting. So you can see here the synthesis of your research will then manifest as a small website and a handout that highlights the key content from the website. So what else? So then you can see here in the requirements, your deliverables, the items that you were submitting, the website and the handout should include the following information. So I very clearly have bulleted what I'm looking for, what type of research you need to do. And again, think of this as a resource for your audience, okay? And so I think this is pretty straightforward. A bit of a research project, but also considering, document design, visual design, and of course, just the miscellaneous logistics. All sources must be cited. So we'll talk more about kind of some visual elements of creating a website as we move forward. But this is the first option, a job profile. The second option is a writing revision. So this is exactly what it sounds like, revising some previous writing of yours. Of course, it's more than just the revision. There's some reflection and rationale that will need to be explained, but yeah, this is open. I want to, I think I say that here, but it can be any type of writing you've done previously. So it can be creative writing, it can be an academic project you worked on, it could be a website, whatever the case is. So the purpose is to think about, since you first wrote this piece of writing, how you have developed as a writer and what has changed to kind of make you think that, to rationalize the revisions that you're making. Let's see, what else? Okay, so a couple of things. So you can see actually down here, I want to kind of look through the requirements. There's 3 things you'll submit: the original writing, the significantly revised piece of that writing, and then a reflective memo, and we'll cover memo requirements later, but that will take us back to the specifications. And so this is asking you to, the memo will be the rationale, explaining what you changed and why. And again, both of these projects are still aligning with the main course questions of what can I do with my writing and what problems can I solve with my skills in writing and rhetoric. So something I want you to be thinking through as you are completing this revision. What else? Again, this can look different for different people depending on what piece of writing you choose. And of course, revision and making your writing stronger is dependent upon the audience, the purpose, context, all of those pieces of the rhetorical situation. So what else? A couple of things here of requirements. And then lastly, the logistics are similar. You need to cite sources accordingly. So I think these 2 projects are pretty simple and straightforward. They don't leave too much, as opposed to the first project, they don't leave too much room for a lot of varied genres. But I mean, I think this writing revision could take a lot of forms, but it's up to you. I want you to choose whichever one of these would be most useful for you. And like I said, the job profile will lead to the professional development plan. So thinking and planning ahead as far as your career goes, and the writing revision will then also lead you to interviewing a writer, so interviewing an expert in the field. So again, think about whether you want to focus on kind of more of an employment focus or actual technique of a writing focus for this project and your next project. So hopefully, I've kind of made some sense of what I have here. I didn't go through every single piece of it, so you definitely, your homework is to read through this thoroughly, And I think I found that was something that with the last project, people had a lot of questions, and it made me wonder whether you actually spent any time reading through the assignment, because I have not read through every single piece of this. So please take time to read through these assignments, especially because I'm asking you to choose one. You want to thoroughly understand them and think through them before choosing which one you want to do. So take some time to read through this thoroughly, and then you also have a process work to complete for Friday, which is just basically telling me what you want to do for this project. So the earlier you decide, the easier it's going to be for you to kind of stick with that and have a lot of time to work on this project and do well. So if you have any questions for me, this is not going back to me, but let's see. Here we go. So if you have any questions for me, please email me as you're trying to work through and figure this out. If you're unsure, again, take some time, think about it. If you need to meet with me, I have office hours on Thursday to talk through it. But hopefully this video has helped kind of clarify what I'm asking of you for this project. Thanks. Bye.